The jungle of glass. They called it Tiraxis Prime, a Deathworld covered in forests of crystal and rivers that burned like acid. No one sane went there. No one lived there, except a single human. For 12 years, the Galactic Expeditionary Corps had logged faint distress beacons from the southern hemisphere of the planet. Each time, drones were sent to investigate. None returned. The area was marked restricted, hostile lifeform presence. But then, one drone returned a grainy image. A man, barefoot, standing beside a towering alien predator. The beast, 12 feet tall, armored in obsidian scales, wasn't attacking. It was bowing to the expedition. Captain Vare, the non-Dominion, stared at the image in disbelief. That's a human. The science officer nodded. Confirmed Terran DNA. Estimated age, mid-40s. No known records. Vare's tail twitched uneasily, and the predator, Class Sigma Apex, the Crexan, they are considered untrainable. Even the Dominion lost soldiers trying to capture one. But this, the officer hesitated. It's showing submissive behavior. Vare didn't like mysteries, but curiosity was a stronger force than fear. Prepare a landing party, he ordered. We're going to meet this Uncle Death. 3. The first encounter. The ship Icaron descended through the shimmering clouds. Lightning arced between crystal spires. Every sensor screamed warnings. Radiation, toxins, seismic instability. And yet, at the coordinates, a small camp stood. Smoke from a fire curled lazily into the violet sky. The man turned as they approached. He was lean, scarred, eyes calm as old steel. His beard was streaked with silver, his clothes handmade from the hides of creatures that should have been extinct. He held a stick, and the Crexan crouched beside him like a loyal hound. "You're not supposed to be here," he said in a low, gravelly voice. Vare raised a hand, his weapon lowered. "We mean no harm, human. We receive your distress beacon." The man smiled faintly. That wasn't a distress call. It was a warning. Before anyone could reply, the jungle shook with distant roars. The Crexan's eyes flared red. 4. The hunt begins. Out of the mist came more predators. 6 of them, bigger than transports, all fangs and fury. The non-soldiers raised rifles. The human didn't move. He merely said, "Hold!" The lead beast stopped. Its claws dug into the ground. Its nostrils flared. Then it tilted its massive head toward the human and stepped aside. The others followed. The jungle went silent. Vare lowered his weapon slowly. "They obey you." The man shrugged. "Not me, just my reputation." He looked out toward the forest where the creatures had vanished. "They call me Uncle Death. Their way of saying they respect what I can do. The truth of Uncle Death." That night, as storms raged across the crystalline horizon, the crew sat around the campfire. The human spoke little, but when he did, every ear listened. Name's Jacob Rourke, former colonist. We crashed here 14 years ago. I was the only one who survived the first week. He poked the fire with a stick. Sparks danced like tiny stars. The Crexan hunted me for months. I learned their patterns, their calls, their rules. Eventually, I killed their leader. He looked up, eyes reflecting the flames. I didn't do it for dominance. I did it because it was me or them. But they saw something in that. They dragged me to their den instead of tearing me apart. Vare tilted his head. "They accepted you." "Yeah," Jacob said. "I became part of the pack. I hunted with them, fought off worse things than them. And when I taught their cubs not to fear fire," he smiled faintly, "they gave me a name. Uncle Death." 6. The cubs. The next morning, the team followed him into the forest. The Crexan moved beside them, silent shadows among glittering trees. Eventually, They reached a clearing filled with nests of woven crystal and moss. Inside were cubs, small, sharp-toothed, curious. Jacob knelt, letting one climb onto his arm. It nipped playfully at his sleeve. "They are growing faster than expected," he murmured. "Smart, too. Smarter than most of us gave them credit for." Vare observed in silence. "You're raising them." "Trying to," Jacob replied. "Someone has to teach them restraint. Predators without balance destroy everything. I won't let them become monsters." The irony wasn't lost on Vare. A human, the galaxy's most dangerous species, teaching predators about mercy. 7. The threat? Suddenly, the comms unit in Vaser crackled. "Captain, unknown vessels entering orbit. Heavy bombardment signatures detected." Jacob's expression darkened. "You brought someone else, didn't you?" Vare cursed. "No, I." Jacob raised a hand. "Doesn't matter. They'll be here soon." He looked toward the sky where faint streaks of light began to descend. "Stay behind me." 8. The Battle of Tiraxis. The sky split open. Dropships screamed through the clouds, disgorging mercenaries, scavengers hoping to capture Crexan specimens for profit. They landed firing. Plasma bolts tore through the forest. Jacob moved like a ghost. One moment he was still, the next he was everywhere. He disarmed one raider, used a man's weapon to shoot another, then whistled, a sharp, haunting sound. The Crexan answered. They surged from the jungle, a living storm of teeth and claws. Within minutes, the raiders' formation collapsed. Jacob didn't watch them die. He simply walked through the chaos, calm, almost sorrowful. When it ended, the forest was silent again, except for the sound of rain hissing on molten metal. 9. The aftermath. Vare stood in stunned silence. "You could have wiped them out alone." Jacob nodded slowly. "Could have, but I let the Crexan finish it. They needed to protect their young." He looked down at his scarred hands. "I'm tired of killing, but some lessons can only be taught in blood." X a farewell. When the Icaron systems were repaired, Vare offered Jacob passage off-world. The human shook his head. "This is my home now. They'd never survive without me." He looked back toward the forest, where the predator's eyes glowed faintly in the shadows. "Tell your people this. Humans aren't the monsters the galaxy fears. But we become monsters when we must protect something innocent." He smiled faintly, the kind of smile only those who've seen too much can manage. "And that's why even predators call me Uncle Death."